a week away from the rematch. Won't be for Undisputed, but it will be for the Unified Heavyweight Championship, as we are going to see yet again Unified Champion Alexander Usyk against former WBC lineal champion Tyson Fury. First fight, pretty exciting fight, to be honest. You know, had its flows. Usyk took control early. Fury took control after, and then one punch. I believe it was like a left cross, or it was straight or a left cross that ended up changing the trajectory back over to Usyk, and then he ended up, getting the win. Rematch time, man. I mean, there's a lot to pick from here, man. And you look at both guys. Usyk's never been somebody, at least on my end, that I feel is something you got to worry about being prepared. The guy is always prepared. Tyson Fury, on the other hand, he's historically always been the question mark, even though, again, he technically only has one loss, But you ask yourself, like, well, why would people be looking at him maybe in not such a confident way? But I think it goes back to the inconsistencies that he's had, be it preparation, be it whatever the case. With Usyk, we don't see much of that, but that's not to say that we have not seen vulnerabilities on the end of Alexander Usyk. We saw the Daniel Dubois fight that, to this day, people still argue that it was a knockdown, and had that been called a knockdown, Usyk, chances are, gets counted out, so that's why there's always intrigue. Like, this isn't like this isn't a fighter going in against another guy that just completely dominated in the first fight. That's not what happened. There was back and forth, but here's the interesting tidbit with this: going into a rematch, we've seen both guys in rematches. We've seen in Usyk, he fought Joshua again, beat him again. It's hard to say more convincingly, because I think AJ actually came better prepared in the second fight, but Usyk still clearly won. Fury, on the other hand, in a rematch with Deontay Wilder, we saw him completely change his strategy from the first fight to the second fight, and he blitzed through Deontay Wilder in the second fight. Now, the third fight happened. Fury, again, to my point, Fury gets dropped twice in that fight. You're thinking, oh man, what's going on? But then ultimately Fury knocks out Deontay Wilder. So the point is, both guys are experienced in rematches, and we've seen both guys come out in W's, and in the case of Fury, even showing more dominance in a rematch. So this is why it's intriguing, but I think the story of this fight really revolves around what kind of Tyson Fury we're going to get. That can determine, and this is why, for me, like, I'm leaning towards Usyk, but I'm not going into this fight like saying he's going to humiliate him. You got to keep your eyes open for Fury, because Fury, again, he's still the bigger guy here. He could box, and if he's dialed in and he's taking this serious, Usyk better be prepared, And again, I think he will. But I'm ready for this, man. I think this is going to really spell the story of, I feel, how these guys are just going to be looked at here on out. And look, they're both at the end. Like, if you were to tell me Usyk has like a fight left after this, it wouldn't shock me. He's what, 36, 30, he's an older dude too. So we'll see, man. And look, who knows, maybe we get a third fight out of this, as Fury is suggesting in a win. But we'll see, man. I'm very excited for it. And look, you got now AJ talking about he wants to fight, Dubois after this next fight. So maybe they could salvage that fight. But let's get past next weekend. Look, I'm leaning towards Usyk, but I don't know. Like, I'm not ready to hop off the cliff yet, because we've seen, again, Fury show, like, in a rematch, he'll show up. So, we'll have to see. My man saying hello from Antarctica. Wow, that's crazy. But any case, let me know what you guys think. That's next Saturday. Again, for us East Coasters and us in the United States, this is an early fight, 6 o'clock. East Coast, p.m. West Coast, like 3 p.m. So just, FYI. Tonight we got Jaime Munguia on ESPN, which is interesting, right? He's not with Top Rank, but he's fighting on ESPN. Pretty interesting. But that's it, man. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. Who do you got? Usyk, does he win the rematch and kind of stake the claim that, he's the man? Or does Fury dial it back and say, all right, I'm still the man. Let's run this a third time. So, anyways, enjoy you guys' Saturday.